Most of us don't really live in the world. We live in our heads, thinking, replaying, rehearsing every conversation, every decision, trying to control the future by obsessing over the past. But the more we think, the deeper we sink. Into doubt, into fear, into a noise that never stops. We call it overthinking, but it's not thinking at all. It's a loop, a cage, a storm that starts inside and never ends until we learn how to face what we've been avoiding. Overthinking isn't intelligence, it's fear, disguised as logic. It's the mind's way of trying to protect you by never letting go. You convince yourself that the more you think, the safer you'll be. That clarity will come if you just keep analyzing, calculating, predicting, but instead of answers, you find exhaustion. Overthinking is a loop, a closed circuit. You don't solve problems, you circle them, replaying the past, pre-living the future, arguing with people who aren't even there, worrying about things that haven't happened and may never happen. Psychologists call it rumination. It's when your mind chews the same thought over and over, but never digests it. You think you're preparing, but really you're stuck, paralyzed by possibility, afraid to choose, afraid to act, afraid to be wrong. We all overthink for the same reason. We're scared, scared of regret, scared of judgment, scared of losing control. But here's the truth, thinking more won't give you control. It will only give you distance, distance from your body, distance from your emotions, distance from the present moment. And the more time you spend in your head, the further you drift from your life. You don't need more thoughts. You need space from them. You need to come back to this breath, to this moment, to yourself. Overthinking doesn't appear out of nowhere. It has roots, and most of them are buried deep in our past, in our fear, in how we were taught to survive. Somewhere along the way, you learned that being careful was safer than being spontaneous, that thinking things through would protect you from pain, that if you made the right decision, you'd avoid regret, and if you said the perfect thing, you'd never be rejected. You learned to stay in your head, because being in your body, in your feelings, it was too much, too chaotic, too uncertain, too vulnerable. Maybe someone told you that being emotional was weak, that mistakes were failures, not lessons, that you had to be perfect to be loved. And so you built a world inside your mind where everything could be calculated, filtered, controlled. A world where nothing hurt, because nothing was ever real. But over time, that world becomes a prison. You start to second-guess everything, even your intuition, even your truth. You become afraid to feel, afraid to risk, afraid to move. And underneath it all, there's something even deeper, a hidden fear that if you stop thinking, even for a moment, everything might fall apart, that you might fall apart. But the truth is, you don't need to think more. You need to trust more, not the world, but yourself. Your body knows, your heart knows. You've just been taught not to listen. Overthinking is a symptom, not of stupidity, not of weakness, but of disconnection. From the body, from the present, from the quiet place inside you that already knows what to do. You don't have to figure everything out. You just have to stop running from the parts of you that feel and start remembering that safety doesn't come from answers. It comes from connection. You can't think your way out of overthinking. That's the paradox. The more you try to solve your mind with your mind, the deeper you sink. So the way out isn't through more thoughts. It's through a different kind of attention, embodied, present, grounded. The first step is awareness, not judgment, not control. Just noticing, I'm spiraling again. My mind is looking for danger that isn't there. Give that thought a name. Label the loop, worrying, planning too far ahead, replaying. That small pause breaks the trance. Then bring yourself back to your body. Feel your feet. Breathe, not to relax, but to return. Place your hand on your chest. You're here now. You're not in the past. You're not in the future. You're here. Next, ask yourself, is this thought helpful or just familiar? Is it moving me forward or is it just making me feel busy? Most overthinking feels productive, but it's a lie. It keeps you stuck in potential instead of movement. So move, do one small thing, not the perfect thing, not the final solution, just the next thing. Take a walk, drink some water, send the message, close the tab, say yes or no, but say something. Overthinking loses power when you act anyway, when you trust the part of you that knows without needing all the answers first. And sometimes you don't need to act at all. You just need to sit still and let the storm pass without trying to chase it away. Because the goal isn't to silence your thoughts, it's to stop believing everything they say. What life looks like without overthinking. It's quieter, not empty, but clear, like a lake after the storm. Thoughts still come, but they don't drown you. You see them pass. You choose which ones to follow. You stop reacting to every fear that calls itself important. You start to trust your gut again. You speak without rehearsing. You feel without apologizing. You move, even when you're unsure, because you no longer need certainty to live. Life without overthinking isn't perfect. It's not a straight line or a constant calm, but it's real, messy, honest, free. You get things wrong, you say things you didn't plan, you laugh more, you breathe deeper, you stop trying to be safe all the time, and you start feeling alive. You don't need to monitor yourself every second. You're not your own critic anymore. You become your own friend, your own ally, and slowly, something shifts. You begin to trust silence. You stop running from stillness. You look around and realize the world was never as dangerous as your thoughts made it seem. And maybe, for the first time in a long time, you feel like you're really here. Not trapped in the past, not worried about what's next, just here, breathing, living, enough. There comes a moment in every journey where we stop searching outward and begin returning inward. This is that moment, because this film was never really about overthinking. Not just. It was about disconnection from the body, from the present, from trust. Overthinking is not your enemy. It's a messenger. It's the voice of a part of you that doesn't feel safe, that learned somewhere along the way that safety lives in preparation, in vigilance, in control. But it doesn't. Safety lives in presence, in truth, in movement. We spend so much of our lives trying to be certain, to get things right, to be perfect. We carry invisible checklists, things we have to say, ways we have to look, paths we have to follow. And all the while, we leave ourselves behind. The child in you who once danced freely without fear of looking foolish, the teenager who wanted to speak their truth but stayed silent, the adult who knows what they want but waits for permission. They're all still here, waiting for you to come back. Overthinking is the symptom of that distance, and healing begins with return. Return to your senses, return to your breath, return to what is real, right here, right now. You don't have to know everything to be okay. You don't have to have all the answers to move forward. You just have to be willing to stay present long enough to hear what your deeper self has been trying to say. This isn't about forcing stillness or pretending the mind will be silent forever. It's about learning to coexist with your thoughts without being ruled by them, like watching clouds pass across the sky. They are real, but they are not you. They change, they dissolve, they return. And so do you. The truth is, your mind is brilliant. It solved problems. It helped you survive. It protected you. But now it's time to let the heart lead too, to let the body speak, to let silence have a say. You were not meant to live only in your thoughts. You were meant to feel, to create, to connect, to rest. You were meant to dance in the mess of the moment, not clean it up before you begin. So when you feel yourself spiraling, when the thoughts start racing, when you hear the old familiar voice of doubt and fear trying to pull you back into the loop, pause, breathe, come back. Come back to your body, to this step, this moment, this breath. Come back to the part of you that trusts, the part that doesn't need to have it all figured out, the part that knows life happens now. And if you forget again, that's okay. Forgetting is part of remembering. Every spiral is another chance to come back. This film was never about giving you a perfect solution. There is no switch to flip, no secret formula. There is only practice, attention, patience, curiosity. You are not broken. You are just learning how to return. Return to the moment. Return to your rhythm. Return to your own voice beneath the noise. Let the mind speak, but don't let it dominate. Let the heart guide. Let the body anchor. And when you need a reminder, come back to this. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Carl Jung: don't chase peace in perfection. Find peace in presence. This is not the end. This is the beginning. You are here now, and that is enough.